We are back with our Survivor 41 rankings. Full house today. We got some people that fell out of the top 10 and some people that came into the top 10. One especially jumped high into our top 10. So we'll get to that in a while. But how is everybody feeling about the second episode?
Woo.
It's a good season so far.
These people talk too much.
Yeah.
They're all spilling the tea.
They're messy. Everyone's being messy.
I feel like we've been really on point with most of our calls, with a lot of our calls on this.
I mean, yeah, our fucking draft. This is the again, one of our last people chosen is out 3 in a row now. Or the bottom 3 in our draft are the first 3 out of the game. That's pretty damn accurate.
Wait, was Vochi the bottom
that
third?
was mine. Yep.
Yeah,
That's the last before the that's crazy.
At
That's
this
crazy.
point,
I didn't
whoever's
realize
first wins.
Me.
Ask me.
Abby.
Ask me. You have a great roster.
It's a good
so
shot.
You're definitely
Abby
winning.
wins over Shan and Sydney.
Oh, that's perfect.
All women
to see
final
that.
3.
I would
I'm here
love to
for it.
see that. I'm here for it too. The way they're playing, everyone.
We know Evie's gonna push for that all women final 3. It looks like so. It's possible.
Absolutely.
Any other thoughts on the episode overall? I have one gripe with.
Ooh, I have one.
It's just the editing for me with 3 teams in only 40 minutes really leaves a lot to the. It's just
That's my
True.
complaint too. They
I-
spend so much time. Sorry.
There's a lot of
No,
people
you're
we
good.
haven't heard from.
I know the blue team is just completely like unknown at this point. My biggest thing is that I feel like I'm watching Dora the Explorer at times, where Jeff, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, when right before they came in for tribal, Jeff is like talking to us, and I'm like, what am I watching Dora the Explorer? Like, is he asking us what's our favorite moment of this episode? Like, it was so weird to me. That's the only thing that took me out of it. I was like, what is happening? Stop talking.
Yeah.
just wait to
Agreed.
tribal, please.
Jeff was kind of weird. Like, why was he out of breath after the challenge? I'm like, bro, you act
Getting
like you've
old.
been running the
Getting old.
challenge. Like,
He's getting
sit down
old. He's losing his
somewhere.
voice. He's I
Very
don't know.
raspy, yeah. This
Yeah,
episode.
he still looks good, but he's definitely getting old.
I think maybe
Yeah.
taking over a year off from hosting might have done it too.
Yep, he should have just kept on hosting, kept on getting that Botox or whatever he be doing out there.
He kept getting that. He just didn't keep hosting.
Yeah, Botox is still in the play. It's definitely in play.
I agree on the editing. I'm not a fan of this Exile Ghost Island light where they. I'm not a fan now that I know it's apparently going to be the same thing every time because Jesus Christ, I don't need to see a merge tribal with 8 extra votes played. It's
True.
just, it invalidates so much. It's just, it's not like literally we have 3 extra votes in the game right now. And we're coming into the 3rd episode. And it's only going to get worse because there's always going to be probably one person that says, you can have the extra vote. So it's only going to go up and up and up, I think.
Yeah, they need to add something to that, like a block a vote or something. Take away a vote from all these fucking extra votes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope they do a twist where the next one is like a different dynamic, so that like while they're discussing
Yeah.
dynamic on the way to do it, they throw them a complete curveball, like they've thought it out to where if they do what they were gonna do, it like messes everything up. I hope they do something like that.
What are your guys' thoughts on this 3-way idol where you have to say the code word?
But this is the
Worst.
stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen
The
in my life.
absolute worst. I've
It's
never.
So
there's no
stupid.
way- there's no way that all 3 of them will find it, and also there's no way. The phrase is too out there.
It's
Like,
way too out there. It doesn't make any sense.
Xander is just gonna be the next one gone if they lose again. Like,
So what? The next immunity challenge, he has to like say that same stupid phrase
Again.
again, and people are gonna be like, "What
They're
the
all
hell
gonna
is
know.
going on?" Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it put a big target on my boy's back.
Especially 26 days or whatever. How much? Like, that's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to take that advantage,
He
take the
didn't.
risk for that at all. It was unnecessary.
It's not like he knew he was gonna lose his vote permanently. Like,
Yeah.
No, I
there
know
wasn't a
that.
sign on the outside. It was like you're gonna lose your vote permanently if you.
He's
To be
already
fair,
in
I
a
would've-
position though where he has this extra vote. So if things before tribal started to look a little wonky, he has kind of this like safety net to fall in, and they're gonna merge soon or switch tribes soon. So like I just don't think I think it was an unnecessary risk. And now he has, yeah, he lost his vote, but he also, people are starting to notice this.
Hmm.
To be fair, I would have risked it too. I
He
just
wanted
wouldn't
an
tell
idol.
anybody.
He wanted an
I
idol.
just wouldn't have told anybody. I don't know why he told Evie and Dave.
Yeah, that was
David.
stupid.
That was dumb.
Immediately.
I would have risked it because, like, you know, you could have gotten 2 advantages, but if I got the disadvantage, why would I tell anybody? Like, just make everyone believe that I still have a vote. Like, I don't know. That was really dumb, and I think he deserved to go home for that. David just was collateral, and this is another thing I'll segue into. I think Evie made not a dumb play, but I think her move was less powerful because she didn't get out Xander. I think David would have worked with her, and I think that she knew that there was no idol. So listening to Tiffany just makes no sense to me. So that's the only thing I will say about Evie. Like, I think that's not really helping her case because now Xander is still in the game, and Xander will know that Evie is the one who, you know, did all that, and it's just, I don't know. I think she should have gotten rid of Xander if she wanted to, and she could have.
They let Tiffany talk them into like her paranoia and
Tiffany's-
doing what she
Tiffany's
wanted to do.
Interesting. Tiffany has
crazy.
gotten out of tribal twice.
I think,
Somebody send her
Tiffany.
ass home,
Queen
please.
Tiffany.
She's not
Nope.
leaving. She's
No
not leaving.
way.
I think
Not for a
production
while.
like tipped. I think production got Tiffany to like change the vote, to keep Xander around.
You
And
think
so
so?
that, like, because I just have these weird like little movies that play in my head where I could just see her talking, like doing her confessional productions, like, "Are you sure you want to vote Xander? What if he has a power? Just asking."
That's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
And then she like answers, but then they're like, "So if Xander has a power, what are you gonna do?" And then they just phrase it like 5 different ways, and now she's like,
Paranoid.
"Oh, it
Central.
must be true. He's."
Oh, I would be.
now she's
I would be so
insisting-
manipulated if I was in that game. I would be so manipulated.
She's
Absolutely.
insisting that they get out him instead.
Yeah.
They're
She's
like,
so. Yeah.
we either get rid of her or we get rid of him at that point.
Mm.
I'm not a fan of the advantage, but in Xander's defense, there's no precedent for this much of a negative outcome.
Yeah.
I would have I like that idols are a little harder to get. I think the phrase part's a little funny. I think maybe that could still work, but I don't like the fact that he doesn't have a vote until people that he can barely talk to find idols that he doesn't know where they are. It's not like there's a sign at every camp that he can just tell everyone to dig under. And he's like, so he can't just yell, "Hey, go find your idols." You know, as far as I can tell, there's no way for him to do that. I
He
don't
would
care
yell
for
it
the
if he could.
twist.
He'd be announcing it from the mountaintops.
I will say we lost good TV with David going. I feel like he was
Yeah,
had a lot more mess in him. So
He was interesting. I thought he would be the douchebag or whatever, but he didn't really come off as one. He
Yeah.
was just logical and like paranoid, which like
Yeah.
great. Like I love that. And it sucks. I mean, I would also like Xander to stay, but like David was just as interesting as the player too. Also the twist where you go to the island and you do the risk or protect, right? I think it's a really Evie played it really smart where she definitely played that to like connect herself with someone from a different tribe to cover her tracks when a merge does come or a swap. I think that's really cool. I think that if people kept doing that, then people will be playing already, and then the merge wouldn't be such a whole new experience. I mean, that could ruin it, but I like it so far.
let's get to our rankings. Our bottom 2 by far, Heather and Sydney. Any thoughts? I mean, we don't have much thoughts on them because we didn't really see them. But any thoughts on them at all?
Are they in the top 10?
No, the only ones
These
that
are outside of the
are-
top 10.
these are
These
the
are our bottom
worst
2
two.
altogether.
Oh,
Rightfully
like,
so.
Like they're not in anyone's top 10. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Okay.
Sydney's in one person's. Heather remains in nobody's top 10.
I will say I ranked Sydney 9th, but I ranked Sydney because
Right.
she did good on the challenge. It doesn't appear to be pissing anyone off. And I think there were people who did bad things, so that I didn't rank those people, or I've seen
tribe
more
is she
negatives
on?
from.
Blue?
Yeah, she's forgettable, but I don't see her doing anything
Yeah, I have
wrong.
no
So
idea
I
what she
threw
is.
her a very low ranking on my list. I don't think she deserves to be bottom 2. I'll say that. Heather, we have seen nothing from. I will say she had a really fun secret scene on YouTube where she proves that she's an absolute nutbag. I'll summarize it very briefly.
What?
She's at the Blue Tribe camp and she says, "I had a dream, Sydney, that you snuffed my torch. I don't trust you." And everyone's like, "Ha ha!" And everyone's like, "Oh my god, Heather's crazy." And then they cut to Heather in confessional, and she says, "I made the dream up. I'm a strategic mastermind," because now everyone's gonna be looking at Sydney. So she's nuts.
Wait, what?
She's Heather.
I wish that
Yeah.
was on the episode.
I know that should have made the episode. It was so good. Go watch it on YouTube. And just look up. It's on Survivor YouTube or
amazing.
some shit. I saw it on Reddit. But that was a great scene. It proves that Heather is,
Well,
like
it
Fan
means
Guy
that she
said,
won't get
God
far,
has no
though.
shot. She has no, like, Heather's a nut job. But
I mean, there's still 15 people left, right?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if Heather went far, they would definitely use that clip because that's funny as fuck. Like that's like that would establish her as a player.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So that kind of like putting it on YouTube makes me feel like she's gonna leave soon. So it's not that important to know or ever.
I even still
ever
feel like
find
if she
out.
goes soon, there should be a build, and I think that's a build to her going.
Also
soon,
true.
if we're
Also
being
true.
crazy.
So maybe she'll stay. Maybe she'll
Or
stay.
she's winning and they're insulating her from looking like a complete nut job.
But
You
then she
sound like a
wouldn't show
complete
it.
nut job.
But then she wouldn't show it. They wouldn't show it on YouTube.
Well, let's move on to 13 through 11. All three of these players, I believe, no, one was still outside of it, but two of these players fell out of our top 10. Ricard, Jeannie, and Erica, with Erica and Jeannie both falling out of the top 10.
Erica.
When I was making mine, I totally forgot about Ricard.
Erica.
I had all
Why did
three of those
Erica
in my
fall off
top
top
10.
10?
I had all three of those in my top 10.
Erica's in my top 10 and Jeannie is too.
They're at the
Ricard
bottom,
is
but
not.
they were in my top 10.
Only Erica out of the three is in my top 10. Jeannie's still not in it. Sorry, Aspen.
Dang. Okay.
I didn't rank. I'm looking at I don't think I ranked any of those three.
I actually think Ricard's. I think I have Ricard as number 6.
Erica continues to impress, like just doing the puzzles. Like, I mean, it's gonna scare people, but like they do it quickly. Her and whoever she's with, maybe is it Deshawn? I don't know who she's with actually, but whoever she's paired with, they do really well at puzzles. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
mean,
still
that
like her
would be-
potential in the game for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was Danny, wasn't it? Doing the puzzle.
Her and Danny.
I thought it was Deshawn.
He's my
I'm
cat.
so
Was
curious who's in
Deshaun did number one puzzle. It makes sense if he did this one too.
I think they're like a pair now, like the puzzle pairs.
I was so
focused.
focused on the other two during that challenge that I barely paid attention to Blue because they were so clearly in the lead.
Yeah,
It
Blue
was
was. I didn't
Deshaun.
I did
I
not
wrote he
expect
picked
Blue to be
us
that
at
good.
puzzles.
Like just out the gate.
Yeah.
I thought Yellow would be better. Clearly not.
Fan guy, why do you have Ricard high? I think you're the only person with Ricard in the top 10.
I actually had him at 6. I just think something was said in this episode where it was implied that him and Chantel are really close. And therefore, by my logic, if you have Chantel very high like I do, then if he is in fact her number one ally, he should be fairly high as well.
But don't you? I kind of feel like everybody on that team has Chantal as their number one.
Yeah.
I think it's just
JD.
JD and Ricard.
Mm,
I think
If
Brad.
it-
I think there's an argument for Brad.
Brad
as well.
thinks that.
If I saw Shan saying that she holds Ricard very highly, I'd rank
I don't think she
Ricard.
does.
But I don't
think she
remember
does.
her saying that. So I feel like everyone feels like they have Shan, but until I hear from Shan in a confessional or something like that, that they trust this person, I'm not giving them her points.
Who was
I
the
looked
girl
at
that
how
left?
votes went.
Who was
I
the
looked
girl
at how
that
the
left
votes went
first?
last week? And the 3 united
Sarah.
votes.
Sarah.
Like
Like-
Ricard was with Chantel on that vote.
But it was
For
everybody
sure.
except Jeannie.
For sure.
And
but
Brad seemed to be on the outs of that tribe right now, big time.
Mm.
Where was
Yeah,
the
I'm not
fallout
saying-
of the thrown vote from Ricard or for Ricard from G? I would like to have seen that, but we
I
didn't.
don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand.
no
because
time
didn't
with
show
3
it.
teams.
They didn't show it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
need
will
2-hour
say-
episodes.
I don't know. I don't think what was Ricard and Shan just like throwing Sarah off by being with her, like acting like they were with her. I really just feel like Ricard isn't really Shan's number one because if if they were that close, then they probably would have saved Sarah. No, I don't know.
I feel like
think
they
he
wanted to
thinks
stop
that
her from
she's
using the
his number
dice.
one, but I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
were-
she
they were two
thinks
of the-
he is.
They were 2 of the 3 votes to get her out, so obviously they were okay.
Well,
with it.
true. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Shan doesn't have a number one. Shan is just controlling that tribe. That's
Mhm.
just what it is.
She the number one.
Yeah. So I don't know if
Exactly.
anyone can really attach themselves to her.
I just
and
think those 2 are the closest
high
to
up.
her.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Jeannie Aspen?
I mean, she did okay in the challenge. I don't know why she ain't get ranked.
She's number 10 for me.
Me too. I know.
I guess for me,
She's
it's the
there.
edit. I just don't understand her game. We ain't getting to see what her thought processes are, so it's kind of hard.
True.
Yeah,
Maybe
from that
she
first
missed that.
episode where she was just basically like not about the plan or whatever, like on the sand. That's the only time I ever saw strategy from Jeannie, and I just didn't think it was that impressive. I thought she just didn't want to entertain possibilities, and that usually doesn't work in this new era of Survivor. But I don't know. I mean, Brad's still here. Brad was like, Shan and Sarah, you two are one of you guys got to go like in front of them. Like, we don't know how this game actually will shape up. It seems like there is a mixture of like old and new coming along, and I kind of like the blend of where it's headed. But Jeannie, I don't know where she's at. I think she could easily be someone who's carried by the tribe just to like further on, but she's not making her own, I guess, game, you know?
Needs better editing. That's the problem for that. Those
Yeah.
2 teams, at least in this episode, because we didn't see a whole lot of anything. So we will move on to number 10, which is Danny, who fell 5 spots from last week.
It's just
I don't
the edit.
understand how y'all have Xander ahead of any of these people.
Hmm.
I don't
Oh,
It's
understand.
he's
not
not-
me, fan guy. It's not me.
Yeah, it's not me either.
Not
Xander's not
me.
in my top 10. Not
He
in
in
Xander's
my
my
top
10.
top 10. He
He's
in my
10,
top.
exactly.
He in my
Wait.
It's Megan.
He's in
Aspen.
whose top 10?
mine.
Only 2 people?
Mine at 10.
So then
He's
how
in mine as well, but not ahead of Danny.
he's not even in my
When
top
we get to
10.
him, I'll explain. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
all right.
continue.
Exactly.
You're right.
But any
Exactly.
thoughts on Danny?
I didn't rank it because we didn't see much from him.
Nothing
Nope.
Really
happened.
wasn't.
Yeah,
You
nothing
didn't
happened
mess
with
up.
him.
Seems like he's on Deshaun's good side, and that those 2 are probably going to have a lot of pull in that camp. So I think it's safe to bet he's in an okay spot. All the drama seems to be circling Sydney, Heather, Nasir, not him, not Danny.
No, I agree with that. I think Danny is like pretty well liked from the first episode. And I think that's very rare because he's pretty athletic. So I feel like people would naturally be threatened by him. But no, I think he is likable, and I think that's gonna help him, especially if they're safe every freaking round until
Yeah.
like a swap. Or
We have to see them lose and
See
risk
what
going to
happens.
tribal and
Yeah.
to see more of his game. I have him mid-level right now because I think he's doing decent, but
Yeah,
I don't really have a lot to go off of. So
Mm.
true.
He hasn't had anything bad though.
Mhm.
I'm the second one.
Yeah, nothing bad. Nothing bad.
A lot of these people, just in my opinion, have done bad things that lower them. A
mhm.
lot of the people who made my top 10, half of them, in fact, did nothing. They just didn't do anything
They're
dumb.
just there. Yeah, they're just there. Didn't do anything.
I mean,
bad
we're
so
not seeing
far.
any of the conversations though that are going on. We're not seeing any of the dynamics or the relationship building really on that
Yeah.
tribe because we're not seeing a lot of edit, and maybe they're not having to have those kinds of conversations yet. I still think that they should be to
They probably
prepare
are.
for that time, but
Nasir
we're not.
was
We're just not
Nasir was like
seeing a lot of it.
top 4 like right away. They definitely are. And also like I actually like 2 hours. Like I wouldn't mind if it's edited well. Like
It has to
was-
be edited
it was
well, or
good.
else it's the challenge and then it's boring. So
But
there's a fine line.
the first episode was fine. Like it was a good balance. We learned a lot about them.
I mean, is Danny going to fall to our draft curse and be the next person eliminated, Meg?
No, he's not. You shut your mouth.
I would be absolutely
I would be shocked.
flabbergasted
I would be
and
shocked.
shocked if that
I mean,
tribe votes out a
Each
pro
vote has been
athlete
kind
who
of.
just seems well spoken and likable. They'd be playing
Mhm.
too hard if they did that. That's my
I'm gonna be
thought.
honest. I didn't expect one of the first episode. I don't know which one it was. I think I expected Sarah to go, or I don't know. But all I know was Abraham I didn't expect, and I did not expect David to go home. So the edit's pretty good at doing that for me.
I feel like I knew David was going home when Jeff was like, David, what's your story? And he gave him like this spotlight to tell his story about did he grow up smart or not. I'm like, oh, he going home. Bye.
What? That's hilarious.
We shall move on to number 9, which is Brad cracking our top 10, up 2 spots from last week.
Oh, Meg, get your boy. Get your
I
boy.
know my 2 are at the bottom, and Sydney didn't even make the cut.
How is this guy in anyone's top?
Why? Yeah, he's not in my top 10. Wait, what is happening? What is
I ranked him
happening
at
right
a solid 7. I liked that he's being a bit more new school and being a go-getter, and he's running to Spy Shack people. I liked it,
now?
and he's
There can
trying
only
to
be
build
one
trust
Tony.
with Shan. And then I think we got a lot from what Shan said about Brad, which is that she was completely disregarding him as a threat until she realized that he's willing to sprint down the beach and all the way back. That made her scared of him, but
Yeah, that's not a good thing. No.
it's not a good thing, but it shows that he's playing the game, which I like.
I have him at 9 on my own list, but I was trying to think the way that Fan Guy thinks, where it's like, is it likely that he wins? No. But if he can get there, I think he has a good shot. He's doing a little too much right now.
Yeah.
He seems on the bottom of that tribe. Like he's in desperate.
Right. But I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
I don't know if he would be on the bottom when they split. I'm assuming they're going to split into 2, right?
I
No,
agree
I don't
with
think they
that.
are.
Mm.
I think they're gonna keep it.
I don't
I
think he
feel
will
like-
be on the bottom, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where I think you're probably at with Xander. But right now, both of those are on the bottom of their tribes, and if they don't get in a situation where they get switched up or swapped or merged or whatever, those guys are in trouble.
I feel like with the trio of idols, they have no choice but to keep them in 3 tribes for
Yeah, that's
it
what I'm
feels
saying.
like at least 2 or 3 or
Yeah.
more votes. And at that point, if one of the tribes hasn't been decimated, we're looking at almost merge.
I
you know,
think they're gonna
realistically.
try. I really think they're gonna try to keep it until like a possible merge,
Mm.
especially if it balances out. Because with all the twists and all the extra votes and dice and all, I think they want to encourage them to like do things, which is like play the extra vote, play that 3-part idol, do the dice, like, and then merge comes as another game. You know what I'm saying? I think swapping
That's
at this
true.
point,
I wasn't really
it's gonna-
thinking about the 3-part idol.
the swap
Yeah.
is going to be weird for all of those different twists that happen. You know, it's going
Mhm.
to be. I think they set that up already, and unless Yasa just like
Yeah. Yasa might force
continues
their
to
hand.
lose people,
Yeah.
then they're going to do like a Cook Island thing where they like had a weird ass like you go over there or whatever. That was a weird twist, right? Does anyone remember that, like Cook
Was
Islands?
it
Bottle
Mutiny?
twist?
That was when Candace and
Johnny
Mutiny.
Bear plays season.
like
No.
left.
Oh, that's Pearl Island.
You're right.
No,
Was it, I
Cook
think that was the
Islands.
mutiny twist, right? When they
It was the
gave them
it was the mutiny, yeah. And then like JP, I think was the like Jonathan Penner. Was that the person who did it?
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm going, and then you was like, what is happening? Like it was a weird twist.
I don't know. There's still plenty of opportunity for them to use that 3-part idol or immunity, whatever it is, split into 2 teams. Because it's already
Weird
been found
twist.
on one. So if they split them in the other 2 beaches, then there's still 2 left to find.
Feels
Yeah.
like I don't want.
Hmm.
It feels like cheating on production's part. It's like it's a
It'll just make it-
3-part
yeah.
idol, and you're
It'll
gonna
make
put
it
Xander
weird.
somewhere where he can search all day because he doesn't have a vote. Maybe he'll
Yeah.
search all day.
Oh my
to find
god!
one
And then
other
he'll
piece.
say
Well, the
both
cameraman better start,
phrases.
going towards the things for people so they could find it quicker.
Have Xander say both the phrases or whatever, like whatever he finds, you know.
And then they merge and he gets the 3rd one too.
And then and then he just says
Oh
like a
my
whole
God.
monologue of things, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" Like, why are
And then
you
they
saying
don't
these
vote him
weird
out because he
phrases?
just sounds like
Right.
He sounds like a lunatic.
they're
Yeah.
scared of him.
And they never
And then
do
Xander
it.
wins.
Part
And then
idol.
Xander wins.
I hope they never do it.
I don't think they're ever gonna do it. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no
If
way.
you know
It's
what, if
not.
he can survive till merge to get all 3 parts himself, props to him. He can have a
He'll
fucking
win.
idol at that
He'll
point.
win.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Brad?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, nothing.
Brad.
Number 8 is Tiffany. That
Wow.
one spot, Mike, even though
Ooh.
you had her number 1.
Way too low.
Who
Way
had her
too
number?
low.
Way too low, guys.
Mike
way
had
too
her
low.
number
You had her
Way too
number
low.
1.
Yeah.
Mine's number 3.
I did. I
Yeah.
sure
That's
did.
trash. I'm not gonna let
If
y'all sit here and
Tiffany,
do that.
if
That's
Tiffany can like work her way out of 2 tribals with like being the most like non-physical person, like I don't know. I could see her going really far.
No,
Especially
you
working
can't.
with,
That's
like-
not gonna last.
no.
I think it will, especially with Merge. Like when she gets to Merge, who's gonna want to take her out?
Everyone,
while.
because she fucking sucks.
Oh,
Come
come
on,
on. We love
No
Tiffany
one
here.
is-
no, we
no one-
fucking don't. No, we
This rating.
No, I like the way she plays. She's leading into her non-physical ass. Like she knows she's not good at challenges, and she's leaning into it. You know how some people are like Big D. He's like,
There's
I
gonna
try
come a
every
point where like
challenge.
Evie's not gonna be able to save her. When there's
She
enough
won't
people
need
voting,
saving. She's gonna convince someone else to save her. She'll
No.
turn on. I think she could get Evie out before she goes out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really
What?
see Tiffany. No, Tiffany. Tell me how Tiffany convinced them to actually vote David out instead of Xander, when Evie knew outright that he has no vote and he has no idol. That, like, to me, either production really played a huge part, or Tiffany is good at convincing, or is
But I mean,
really-
it's also smarter, I think, to vote out David because I mean,
Mhm.
Xander can't vote.
Yeah. I
Okay,
feel like
okay, I see
we
that.
look at this like an Australian Survivor. There's a dead man walking twist. That's not really, and basically the person just doesn't have a vote for a little while, and that's what we're seeing with Xander. He has no vote. He has no power in the game. He can't do legitimately anything unless 2
It's
other
true.
idols are found on other tribes. And I feel like the fact that Evie didn't hear either of the other 2 phrases tells her she's got enough time if they lose here for a little while.
I didn't think about that. You're right.
Tiffany's number 1
basically
here
useless.
for me, and she got a lot of Homer bias here. 'Cause she's on my team.
We
And
know.
I love Tiffany. She's hilarious. And you know what? Part of it is genuinely she reminds me of a certain way that I play games and orgs, where
Mike is just obsessed with these
I-
older women.
I browbeat my allies into voting my way because that's what I want. And I was not a fan of what Tiffany was doing until I had those comparisons drawn by my man. He was like, she reminds me of you. And I'm like, you know what? I see it. I love Tiffany now. But be my favorite.
He said
So-
you remind him. What? That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Tiffany's totally playing like I would
Do
play.
I
Where I'm
find
just
that as
like,
a
but I'm
compliment?
so
I don't
likable,
know."
guys. I may suck at challenges, but no. Tiffany's. I again, we're. I don't actually think she's going to win because I feel like if she was winning, the story would have focused more on her and less on Evie here. But I like.
Not necessarily. I thought Tiffany had a fairly like. I don't think that they edit Survivor winners like outright. Like, I don't know if Evie has a winning edit right now. Like, I see Tiffany as a pretty good edit too. Leanna has no edit, like in that tribe.
Yeah,
It's Xander, Tiffany, and Evie in that tribe that like has all the screen time. So
Evie was really like, I want to see. I think Xander is the smarter thing, and Leanna's literally telling Tiffany to her face that voting out voting out Voci right now would be she was like, that was an awful idea. That's stupid. And guess who they ended up voting? So
that's what I'm saying. Tiffany is
social
up there
goddess
for me
with
as well.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
He's too confident though. You can't be confident like that.
The second
in
she
this
said
game.
her first post challenge confessional, and like, oh, she's gone.
Yeah,
That's
she
that's
was-
the
that
that's
was
the
a
arrogant
very-
downfall.
That was
But
a red herring.
she got proved right.
When I
know?
heard that too, when I heard she's like, "Oh, that's not happening," like, time to make sure one of those goes home. I'm like, Tiffany, baby, you're going home. You're going home. But
Well,
somehow she was yelling at them at the water well, like, we have to vote David out. Like, she was crazy. Like, I love it. I fucking love the way she played that.
Would you say,
Um,
fan guy? You're on mute or
I
something.
think you're muted.
What happened?
Can't hear you.
She's
mate.
she's like nodding.
okay.
She's like nodding.
Sorry, I had muted.
There you go.
The theme of the season is gonna be the Olympics, so they need to bring out the Olympic torch and the decathlon events for her and stuff like that. I still can't get past that. Like, you're never gonna convince me that this person's gonna win after they're like, "What's the theme of the season?" And they're like, "The Olympics." Like,
And
that's
wait.
like a mic drop. I just can't.
What
What
one
is
more
this?
thing I think is going in her favor. Preseason, she said she thought the season theme was going to be Olympics. But one more thing I think going in
Oh.
her favor is the sunken cost fallacy of her allies. Is they've now kept her over two much stronger tribe
Yeah.
members, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, I've already got rid of two people. What's one more? What's one more? What's one more? And then suddenly we're staring at Merge, where people like Tiffany tend to thrive. And then we're staring at Endgame because there's all these bigger athletic threats that made them merge. And suddenly Teacher Tiffany is about to school these people.
I agree with that. I think playing from the bottom where your team is losing badly in the beginning, it works. It can work. It only works for certain people. And Tiffany is the benefit, like the biggest beneficial, like she's getting the most benefits from it. Like Evie, Leanna, and Xander will be threats coming into Merge if they're in the bottom, but Tiffany won't. Tiffany will be the number. Tiffany will be the swing. Tiffany will be someone who they don't think is a threat because
But
she
why do
no
you
one.
feel this way about her, but not Brad?
Because Brad isn't like their tribe. I mean, okay, if Green Tribe keeps losing, sure. But right now, I mean, I don't know. I don't see Brad as that. First of all, one, he's a man. So like he's still
They
going to be
couldn't be
seen as a
further from
threat
different.
physically. They're
What'd
very
you say,
different
Fair Guy?
players.
They couldn't be further from different. Like Tiffany's like social A, Brad
Yeah.
is like social D minus.
Yeah, but you're all saying that like people on the bottom are these like not good
No,
players.
no.
Or
Tiffany's
whatever,
not on the
like,
bottom. The
thrive at
tribe
the
is on the
merge.
bottom. The tribe numbers are on the bottom.
I'm
Tiffany's
talking
not on
about
the
what Mike
bottom.
said,
though.
like people like Tiffany thrive at the merge where they can just, I mean, why can't Brad do the same thing?
Because I
I
don't
think
think
Brad's
Brad
gonna
is
do well.
social, and
I think
I
he's
don't
going
think
to.
Brad's gonna do well. I don't think Brad's gonna do well. I'm sorry.
Now,
Aspen, I want to hear from Aspen real quick. 'Cause Aspen's been shaking her head about Tiffany this whole
She's
time.
just
So
eating
I
her
want to know why.
popcorn, chilling.
You've been shaking your head this whole time. Why do you hate Tiffany?
I can't believe y'all sitting up here like vouching for her. Like I would have kicked her ass off when she could not get across that beam. Like I'm sorry, like no, it's not happening. It was so, it was hard. It was hard. I almost turned the goddamn TV off. I just, it was
Watch her
so-
shimmy across.
Yeah, just to see her like not making it. I'm just like, girl. And I don't know. She just like, boo, you should have sat out. Like she need to get on a team where she can sit
she
out. Like,
can.
bruh. I know, and that's the sad part. Is like, I don't know.
But
Maybe
we
she
don't have to worry about who we're going to vote out at tribal council if we're not losing immunity challenges. So stop voting out people that can help you win and therefore avoid having to go in the first place.
Exactly. How is this still even a conversation? Like she literally is the reason that they had no shot. She the reason. I mean, I'm never the person to be like, oh, keep the tribe.
It's still an individual game though. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, like I really think if they got down to 3, then production's gonna have to like swap them, right? So it's like at that point, like you're just gonna play from the bottom.
I just feel like this is where
yeah.
you and I differ in our gameplay because I think there's one winner, but you need to have people surrounding you. To
I didn't
get
need
there.
any
You have to have a
numbers.
strong.
I don't think
team
Aspen.
to-
I don't
to
know.
get
I
you
don't know.
there.
You can
No, I
play it this-
definitely feel like Fangirl and Rochelle was the reason that I got to the end on my.
Oh, okay, so you had numbers.
Yeah.
I didn't have numbers. I mean, you don't have to play it either way. Like either way is valid. I'm just saying that for someone like Tiffany, I think it works that she has no numbers. If she had a lot of numbers, then she's expendable at that big like alliance.
But
if
Tiffany
she's
has
alone,
numbers. That's why she hasn't gone home the past 2 times.
she has numbers now, but if they swap or merge, they're still at the bottom.
They're not
because of
going to
the
make it to
numbers.
swap or merge without getting rid of a weak link on their team that keeps taking them to tribal council.
Sunk cost fallacy. You already sacrificed 2 strong people. Hell, what's another one? What's another 2? And then suddenly it's a 2-person tribe, and it's Evie and Tiffany trying to Denise and Malcolm the rest of the game.
But we thought there was
And Denise wins. Denise
But we
won.
thought
I
there
mean-
was a merge coming, and then they're just 2 people left.
Oh yeah, true.
And then
I
they
mean,
get split up.
it would be hilarious if Yasa just keeps losing and then like they don't swap and they just get like just no one left from Yasa. That'd be hilarious. I would
If they get down to two,
honestly,
you're just gonna put
if that's
one
what
on each
happens.
other team.
No, they should just be like, you're done. Like
Go home.
it's all
Was that-
Tiffany's fault.
Was that Guatemala? That
Stephanie.
Oh,
I
that
think it's
happened before?
They went down to 2 and they went down to a some kind of challenge between the last 2 and then just one person left. Tribal won. Stephanie.
Oh my god.
We got to move on from Tiffany, very controversial, but we will go to number 7, JD, who is down 3 spots.
Yeah. Valid.
Right,
I think we
rightfully
just
so.
Didn't
He
see
number
much
10.
from him.
He number 10 on my list. He
I
sucked.
have him at 7.
Like he's
I have him
in
at
that
8.
range. I have him at 10.97. He's
I
at
have
7.
6. So yeah.
JD, I guess we haven't seen enough from him to like really know, but he is playing hard, and I don't know if he has enough connections to like really back him up there. Maybe him and Shan are actually closer than we realize, but other than that, like he's definitely a target in people's eyes, and he's not a good liar at all.
Brad thinks he has an idol because of his Waterwell chat. King of going from 10 to 11 confessionals to 0. We love that. Cool down episode.
Oh, JD.
Yeah, we saw like nothing from him, man.
But
He
he
had
had
the
the
backstory.
huge first episode that I feel like he was on.
Right.
He was the main character of the first episode, honestly.
Yeah, that's why it's so weird that
Yeah.
this is the problem with the editing, man.
I think Tiffany's been the main character in both episodes. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Hmm.
that's why I have her
Go
up.
home. She about to go home. She about to go home. Don't worry, Alex.
I don't
Alex
think-
is
I
the
don't
strongest
think so.
supporter of my team.
I don't like your team because I don't understand it, but now I do. Tiffany's the only. Who's the other person? It was
Shan,
Jeannie?
Tiffany, and
Oh.
Heather.
oh Shan. Oh, okay. I am a big supporter of your team then. Besides Heather.
Any other thoughts on JD? We didn't see him. So we'll move on to number 6, Xander, down 3 spots.
Too
no,
high.
I'm
Enough,
putting
according
him
to
Too
way
high.
Too high.
Too high.
Too
Let's
high.
go.
No, he not too high. Y'all-
This is like Megan Aspen versus everybody else's episode, but
Go
I
ahead. Go ahead. Explain
know.
yourself.
Women empower women.
That's right.
Not Xander. Don't empower Xander. Get him out of here.
Is he a woman? I'm not empowering him.
No, we
empowering
remember
Aspen.
each other. Exactly. Because y'all sitting up here hating. Like, don't do Xander like that. He had a good round. He avoided elimination just like Tiffany. did.
Luckily,
He avoided it. So y'all need to give him his props.
he didn't do anything to get there.
Got no
It was
vote.
all the girls.
Got no vote.
It could have
has
been
no
him.
vote, and he still- and
He has no
still-
vote and they didn't vote him out. They know that he has these advantages. They know that he has the ability to find the advantages. They know that he's a strong player in the team and he still avoided it. They voted out Voce, who didn't do anything.
These
Look,
just
yeah.
sound like
And
negative.
he didn't have to do he didn't have to
"But he
do
survived."
anything to get the vote off of him. They
Nick
automatically
has a
did it
good
because they
point,
were
though.
scared of a potential power that they knew he didn't even have.
Tiffany did it,
Nick
not
has a good point.
Xander.
Period.
Stop taking credit
Nick
away.
has a
from
great
Tiffany.
I
point.
know I'm
because
saying he didn't have
he
to
has
do
no vote.
anything.
He has
About
no
it.
vote. He has no vote.
He has no vote. That's
is that
That's
incentive
do
to keep
anything.
him?
He's powerless. He
For
couldn't even use his
now.
dice.
Powerless.
He's not even allowed to use his
Why
dice
would
'cause
you
he
want to
has no
keep him
vote to
around if he's
sacrifice.
powerless?
Right.
He can't help you
Get
in
rid
any
of
So
him.
that
way.
he could be the next.
Without it.
So maybe okay. The thing is, Xander is good at challenges, so possibly they could save themselves, and if not, then he's next. I think that's what they thought. I
just
would do
think
that.
if he can skirt by, he can take it the whole way to the end.
Oh yeah, No, I agree with that. I just don't know if that would happen.
100% next on this tribe. 100%. If they stay in 3
He
tribes.
trusted
I
trusted
agree with
Evie
you. I
and
agree with
David
you.
so quickly, and look what happened. Like none of them were really on the side. Like David was, but why would you trust?
Nick wants to talk. Let Nick talk.
Oh, go
I
ahead,
was just
go
gonna
ahead.
say he has to stop talking too much. He talks. too
Yeah,
much.
Agreed.
That's the one.
I-
It's bad
But
quality.
they're all kind of talking too much.
Right.
But
Evie
he's
used
sunk-
hers in a
he's
good
sunk
way,
his
but
game.
she's still spilling tea to other
No,
people.
Evie talks too much too.
They're all
Evie,
telling
Evie
each other
also
Evie's
talks too
everything.
much.
This isn't just a Xander problem. This is this entire season problem.
It's,
at this
it's the new
point.
era problem.
Mhm.
Not a fan of that
Talking.
style of gameplay. I'm really not, but yeah. I agree with something that Meg said, is that I do think Xander absolutely has the potential to go
Yeah,
all the way. And that's
Yeah.
why he's still barely edged his way into my rankings. However, I agree with what Fan Guy said, and I really don't think that he's gonna stay very long if they go to another tribal.
Yeah.
Those $2,000 shoes are gonna be walking right out.
Yeah,
So
no, I
high
100%
upside,
agree with that.
low downside, and he's really close to that low downside right now.
If they go to tribal again, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
I agree.
He's a dead man walking.
Okay, Alex.
Any other thoughts on Xander?
You need to lose some people because you're about to win this whole game at Aspen. You have a good roster, so don't
Who's
even
Aspen's
try.
third person? I know her too.
Genie, right? No.
Genie.
Yeah, Genie.
Oh, yeah. Who? Sorry.
Genie's gonna also be in there. Trust me.
So nothing else on Xander.
Good job, Xander.
Number
Like doing
5
nothing.
is Leanna with but she's up 3
Hey.
spots from last time.
My girl.
I didn't rank her at all.
What?
What? She
Leanna's
beasted
one of
that
those-
challenge.
I forgot about her. I forgot about her and Ricard. They
Leanna's
literally
one of
made
those
no
people.
indent in my brain.
I mean, true. She has no personality in the game. Like no one really. There's no confessional from her. There's nothing to go off of. But I think her position is good because she stays quiet, but she stays in the know with like what's happening, right? Like I just see her going far at this current moment. And she's good at challenges. So if she makes the merge, like there's gonna be some challenges.
She's definitely
that
gonna
she
be a
can win.
comp beast for sure.
Yeah, she like beasted the beam where
She
Tiffany
flew
was like,
across there.
like you know, like rugging herself through, and she just like tiptoes through. I don't know, like that's.
She's
She
That was
also
good.
had to, honestly, at that point.
But she still did it.
She
That's the
still
thing.
did it. And it was a great position for her to be going after Tiffany because
Yes.
honestly, no matter what she did, she was going to look like she did a great job.
Yeah.
Yes.
She did.
yes,
She did.
Yes, I agree.
she's
with
the
that.
dancer, right?
She did a
Who-
great job. So
Who,
She
who
is,
called
yeah.
balance? Who called the
did,
balance
we
queen
did.
preseason? There, we've seen it. We see it here. And
Don't let her get emerged because there's a lot of balance ones. I think.
what
There's
does
a
she
lot
do?
of, like,
She's a dancer.
she did ballet, and that gives
ballet
her
is
Wow.
a hell of a
she'll
balance.
she'll have good like stamina. She'll have good like balance. She'll have good. I don't know. Like that's some scary merge skill
Mm.
set.
I don't think she's winning, but I don't think she's going anytime soon. So
Yeah,
No.
I
upper
agree.
half of my ranking.
She's in a
We'll see,
really
what,
good
we'll see how she
position.
does. Yeah,
She's Evie's lieutenant.
that's my girl, JD Leanna. You're the only ones left.
I feel like she's in the middle between Evie and Tiffany, which is like the best spot to be.
That's the
Yeah.
best spot to be.
Yeah.
Well, we move on to number 4, our biggest jumper of the top 10.
Who is it?
Nasir is up 10 spots, making his way into the top 10.
Wow.
It was
Well
that
deserved.
fire, man. Pushed him way up there.
Fire
It was the fire.
It's-
It was the attitude. I mean, here-
attitude.
like,
Yeah.
he was
The
my first.
story.
He was my first fucking comment that I wrote down. I'm like, okay, Nasir, I see you. Like, way to step it up. Like, I want him to win. I was hating at first, but like now I'm like, okay, Nasir.
Yeah.
Right, like, we need you, Nasir. I'm like, oh, all right,
Mhm.
daddy.
He's like,
You
all we
know-
needed was some rice and veggies, and we were happy. And I was like, give the man
That's
$1
so
million.
sweet. I
please.
know, right? Like right now. Coconut
Sia's
and rice.
choice?
That's what he said.
Sia's choice incoming here. Everyone's gonna love Nasir, but I love him, and I think he's past the most dangerous part of the game for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the very first few times, and his tribe hasn't even gone to tribal, and in a season where people don't have any food allotment, and he's a very good provider, good
Yeah.
positive attitude. That is worth its weight in gold. People are as people get hungrier, they realize they're gonna starve this
They
whole
need
season.
Nasir,
They
yeah.
want him there for a while.
What's really great about what he does is that, like, you know how people who are like good at doing fire and like getting the food right, they're cocky about it. They act like the leader, they act dominant. He, according to the team, he's someone who is like very humble about it, and is very like uplifting in the same way. So it's not just like a need physically, it's like a sort of a spiritual need because he's just bringing food and the spirit. So
He could have jumped right in there and made fire from the beginning, and he didn't. He let the others like kind of do their thing, figure it out. And then when it didn't work, he was like, let me try.
that actually helped too, because then like
Mhm.
he didn't like take control in the beginning.
Mhm.
Like he let others try first. And
Fan guy, do they let your dude make the end though?
I don't know if they let him make the end. I think he's got a reasonable shot if he gets far enough. But I do. I think this guy's just got like this infectious likability to him.
Yes.
It's just like he's just got this innate likability. Like it's just so hard not to like this guy. And I think I think that's how he really is. I'm just gonna like guess. I don't think it's like a character he's portraying. I actually think that's how this guy is, and it'll bode very well for him.
Last
That
week
is this year.
Aspen compared him to Rupert, and I do see that a lot. But I don't know if that's a good thing because that's the type that
Rupert doesn't
let's
do
keep
well,
him
yeah.
along till we don't need him anymore. Then he's a
Yeah.
big target. I still see him as a big target eventually, but he does have the likability. It's just I just don't know if that's the person people like until the end.
He might not be quite as big of a comp threat as Rupert was in that time, which I think might help him. That he's not
Yeah, that's true.
comp wise as Rupert was.
That's
And we know that he works fast. Like he was trying to establish a top 4 thing going on. Like if people let that go, because like at the beginning they're like, Nasir's scary, like just bringing it up all of a sudden. But if he like is able to control that and still work his way through, like that's good. I don't think Rupert was doing that stuff, like thinking about the long game. He's just a very straightforward kind of guy. He gets the food, very typical like alpha kind of attitude, savior attitude.
Rupert was kind of a jerk. I think people forget that because of
Yeah.
his like heroic
He's a
edit.
jerk.
But he was a jerk. He hated fair play, and he made sure he knew it. And I don't see Nasir ever being a jerk.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I don't want to say something so strong, but I don't.
I mean, he might be a
being
jerk to like
jerk.
Danny or Deshaun. Like,
I mean, if
he
there's
was
somebody
trying
that
to-
has a personality of fair play, I can kind of maybe see it from this.
right. I can't believe you standing up for Johnny Fairplay. Are you really sitting right here saying Rupert was a jerk to
It's
Johnny
not.
Mike,
Fairplay?
guys.
Trust
it's
me, I'm
Mike.
not. Fair play deserved it, but I don't even like fair play. I really don't. But I mean, Rupert was no saint. He really wasn't. And people
Nah,
are just like,
heroes
all he
usually
did was
aren't.
fish and be nice. No, he was also not a good guy. Well, not a great guy, I should say.
Okay, Mike.
But it makes it more interesting. He's a more
That's
interesting
been
character than
Aspen's,
people
like-
give Rupert credit for.
like dialogue this episode. Okay.
We must move on to number 3, which is Deshaun, up 3 spots.
Yeah,
Good
That's
job.
exactly where I have him.
top 5.
Yeah, I think him and that every little thing that kind of took it up
Smart.
because I'm like, oh, okay, you playing, you ain't just. And honestly, man, I respected my boy's story. Obviously, like that shit was heartfelt. Like, I don't know, I felt a lot of what he said. Him just putting everything into his career and not being a lot of Black doctors out there, and so I don't know. I just really respected what he doing and what he doing it for. But he ain't letting that get in his way, like he's still playing the game, and I feel like he got a lot out of it. He feel like she just was telling Xander's secrets, but still like
Evie was Evie. I don't know what she was doing there. I mean, I thought it was a good idea originally. I was like, okay, give him some information, but then like she just went like everything almost.
damn.
But good for Deshaun, good for Deshaun to get all that info. I don't think he will spread it to everybody. Like he's gonna keep that to himself, and that's gonna help him. I agree.
I think he's in a
Deshaun's
good
great.
spot for sure.
Do y'all think he gonna find the idol?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he'll try.
Yeah.
For his
He has a
sake,
good
I hope
chance
he
to do it.
doesn't.
I
These
hope-
idols are as good as public because all you need to do is tell one person that there's phrases and then it's all figured out from there.
Please don't like why
They're public. They're pretty much going to be public in every swap,
ruined
every
the
merge.
3-part idol. I'm not gonna
He
lie.
did.
I don't like the
definitely
3-part
did.
idol for that. I'm not a fan
He
of
ruined it because now everyone knows he's a dead man walking, and then people are gonna catch up real quick because now Deshaun knows.
And so to come to Xander's defense, he probably thought that if he told Evie and Voce, that they would protect him because he didn't have a vote. And so he like, well, let me just tell them so they don't think I got a vote.
No,
don't protect-
no.
I'm just saying that's what he was
No.
thinking, Alex. I don't know.
I know.
don't
I get. No, I believe. I understand. I understand. Like that line of thought. I feel bad though because once he said it, I was like, what?
Deshaun was my number 1 after this episode. I feel like
respect it.
yeah, he has a lot of potential out of this episode. But yeah, if he finds the idol though, I think that actually might be more of a detriment to his game than actually helping him.
For sure.
He should tell Nasir to go find it, and then that's gonna be fucked for Nasir.
I think
Like
him and Evie
that
have
would
a
be some
good-
mastermind play. He'd be like, Nasir, I'm helping you out. Go find the idol. Then he like becomes the main target. You know, that I just think that would be crazy. Like whoever, if he does manage to do that, like get someone else to do it. Oof, that would be such good like TV for me.
I hard
I would
agree.
love that.
When Xander found it and he had the exterior that said beware, I'm like, bro, put that back, go find someone, bring them there, make it their problem, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
Knowledge is yours, but
Ooh,
the potential benefit downside isn't yours.
Smart.
Have it be an ally,
that's very
but I'd rather an ally have a potentially game ruining twist, but also
That's
potentially game winning twist
true.
than,
Yo,
than
Xander, see,
taking that risk myself.
if he told David and not Evie, I don't know. I mean, Xander could have done it a lot different ways. That's why I didn't have him in my top 10. I just thought that he handled it badly, but he is safe. So that is a good point. We're always going back to Xander. Sorry.
Back to
Anyway.
Deshaun, really like what we saw from him in this episode, like a lot. Like he is
Yes.
up there, winner contender, hardcore for me.
Good. Good story.
Great 2
yeah.
episodes. He was confronted in the first episode about idol hunting, and he handled it so well when he was told. He didn't that we saw go and confront Nasir. And then this episode, people are just spilling Evie is just spilling her guts to him. He's learning how the idols work for sure. He has an extra vote now. What a champ.
Yeah,
I should have put him
he-
higher. He should have been Tiffany's spot, but hope
I mean,
bias.
he's MVP of the episode. Absolutely.
There's a real connection between him and Evie too. Like whenever you share that
Yeah.
kind of info in these games, you know, you're tying yourself to that person in a lot of ways. So I
Right,
think that
Fangad?
connection is real, and I think it's going to bode very well for both of these people.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better about Nasir and Deshaun, or do you still think they're going to target each other?
We'll see when that tribe hasn't had to face the fire yet. And we won't know till we do. I think if both those guys make the merge, they can both actually go pretty darn far.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Chantal, who has dropped from number 1.
Okay.
Why
Probably
she
just 'cause
drop?
we
Why
saw
she
less
drop?
from her. It's because we saw
Why
less
she
from her.
Probably because we saw less, which I actually think is a positive.
Yeah. That means that she didn't do anything like glaringly wrong, and she's still like in control.
I just didn't like how she. I don't like how she like went back and ran and told the car. You know, like
What did she say?
that
About Brad running.
Yeah.
I missed that first minute of the episode.
Just to keep all our number 1s in order. She has 4 of them. I
I
think.
guess.
Well,
I
3
guess.
at least.
I guess.
I think it's Ricard and JD. I really do believe those are the 3 that are going to be the tightest on that tribe.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it makes sense.
Chantel, that's why I had Ricard ranked, was because I thought that him, Chantel, and JD are those 3 are gonna run that tribe.
It was crazy. I believe both Shan and Evie made decisions that didn't help their game, but they controlled it. Like I that's like if I feel like it's a common thread here. Like last episode, Shan dominated that tribe, but then ended up voting out Sarah, which would have been a number for her, absolutely. And then this round, same
But I mean, I
thing
feel
with
like she
Evie.
still has numbers because she has her.
No, Shan, I mean, Shan, every single person trusts Shan. So, like, that's a different story. I think Shan, that's why I don't know. I think Shan shouldn't lose that much votes. But yeah, like, I still think she didn't do anything terrible this episode. I think she's still probably the best player at the moment.
Not the best player. That's a big claim.
in
Alex.
the season for this 2 episodes, yeah, I would say. I mean, it's her and like Deshaun. Like, who else is playing perfectly?
I have Evie at number 1. Chantel.
That's
I
what-
no, I do too. I do too. But my
literally-
mind's been changing. My mind's been changing. She's on top of my list too.
So I think
But-
Evie's playing the best, but Chantel's playing great, and she's in a great spot. I mean,
Yeah,
there's only 1 spot higher than second.
yeah.
And your thoughts on Chantel? Well, number 1 this week is Evie, up 1 spot. So just a switch between Chantel and Evie.
I can see this trend happening.
That's interesting.
It's because Evie went to tribal, so we got to see more of her actuating her gameplay. Like, you know, she brought forth a plan, she followed through on it.
The more that we talked though tonight, the more I wish I would have put her a little bit lower.
Yes, I put her number one, and I agree with you exactly, because I was like, I think she made more mistakes than the other ones that we've talked about from top 5 and all,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100%. I just think that because she was kind of the main character of this episode, we all thought about
Yeah.
her, and she did win out of it. Like, she got what she wanted.
Mhm.
So that's why she's on top. But I do agree. I think keeping a little bit like tight-lipped, a little bit more moving forward would help
Yeah.
her.
I mean, I think she's positioning herself well in the game right now, and she is thinking
Yeah.
about like whenever they do join with other tribes, she's going to have connections there, and she's putting herself in a position to be able to do that, and she's gaining trust of the majority of her tribe now too. But she's doing it kind of messy. Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
Xander thought they were tight, and then Leanna and Tiffany both know that she made herself tight with the other two just to get information. So that's dangerous. Like, if
Mhm.
Leanna and Tiffany were smart, they'd be like, okay, if if Xander still has no vote, then why don't we just vote out Evie, because she's like so social. I don't know. I don't think Evie is in the best position in that tribe. I think Leanna is, but yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
I definitely disagree.
Evie's calling.
Yeah,
the
no,
shots. Evie is
no.
You don't think Leanna's the best position in that
I don't
tribe?
think that's necessarily a good thing.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing, but Evie's the one calling the shots.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best position, is what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
agree with
I
that.
think. Leanna's in the best. I mean, I could be wrong, but I really think she
I can
would
see that.
survive in any situation. There's no point in ever taking out Leanna in this next 2 votes.
Yeah.
That's why I think she's like staying in that tribe.
I
or
feel
in
like
the
Evie's
game.
building the best resume, which is why. I
Oh
put her
yeah,
number one.
which is like scary.
Because her moves are tangible. There's stuff that could matter in the end if she gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that y'all had her at number 1 because I had her at number 5.
Really?
Yeah,
Your
just
own
'cause
girl.
I know, but she was doing this thing that I was like, she doing this thing that a lot of us queer people have a time with, like we just like to be in a lot of stuff at one time. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
she just got her foot into way too many things at this
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
Alex, you know what I'm talking about.
I
Ah.
do. I do.
I mean, she's
agree
starting
with
to give
you.
me Tiffany from Big Brother vibes, which for me isn't a good thing because it's
It's
just
not.
overplaying. I think it could happen. She's on the verge of possibly overplaying.
Aspen, who's your number 1? Xander?
Nasir, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I thought Nasir did a really good job. That's why I put him as number 1. And like you said, I feel like Evie just made a bunch of mistakes,
No,
Yeah.
looking back as we're talking, I'm like, why is Evie my number 1? Like, I was so confused. But I also have to say, like, she did at the end of the day, she did get what she wanted, but maybe it's what Tiffany wanted.
I was about to say,
But
is it what she wanted or is it what Tiffany wanted?
It's what Tiffany wanted, but she also, it's still her side that won. She
True.
made an active choice to like go after one of the boys and to make sure that it's not a physical thing, because then like Evie's in trouble with Tiffany and Leanna at that point, right? So she made the active decision. She then connected herself with Deshaun, which is still a good idea. So like, I think she has made the biggest and most beneficial moves. It's just some of them are like, I can see it going badly for her.
She showed a
Eventually.
lot of wisdom as a leader too by deferring that
Yes.
decision to Tiffany rather than taking the reins and saying, no, we're doing this
So
because
now it's
it's what I
Tiffany's
want to
move.
do and it's the smarter thing. He
Yeah.
decides to say, oh, person who kind of feels on the outs and on the bottom of this alliance, because they are, let's give
They
you
are.
what you want, and now you're even closer to
And now
me.
you're to
I
blame
feel like
too.
Evie brought Deshaun and Tiffany way closer into her, and I think she's got some people who have her back a lot going forward.
She has the skills. She has the skills to make it, for sure. I'm really excited. I like how fast paced it actually is, because I really do feel like in the beginning episodes of Survivor, it's always kind of they're really non-events to me. Not many big things happen, and I think this past 2 episodes, like there's been backstabbing has been, blindsides. So I'm into it.
Well, any final thoughts on Evie or overall?
Does anyone do those puzzles for the audience? The Dora the Explorer puzzles?
Yeah.
I
Do
did
you
the
get-
first week,
had-
but not yesterday.
Have you guys like cracked it or whatever? What is it? Like, is it
I
hard?
mean, do we want? I'm pretty sure I mean, I did it live during the episode. Didn't actually go to the website this week, but I'm pretty sure. Spoiler alert! It was worth playing for. I think.
Mhm.
I think.
Nice.
Now I want to look at it. Or is that it?
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
I didn't look it up.
The
didn't
Rebus
look-
puzzle thing.
Aspen, in the episodes, like they like randomly zoom in on that puzzle,
Mhm.
So I'm asking like, if anyone's done it, and Meg did the first episode, and Mike is now checking his answer for the second one.
I remember, but what? I mean, Mike saying it's worth.
It's worth playing for.
What do you
It
get?
is.
No, that's the answer.
No, that's
Yeah.
the answer to the puzzle. Wait, Aspen she completely dove into the game. Like,
She's
Is it worth
on Mike
playing
was
for?
saying like it's worth playing for, like the
what did we win? A spot on the show. Yo, imagine one of these games are like oh my god, imagine one of these games are like the first person who gets the answer is in the show, like has a secured spot. That would be the best marketing
well, you're
play.
behind.
They're supposed to be for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, fucked
They're
up.
supposed to be for
It's
like
for
actual
kids?
children.
So it is Dora
Yeah.
the Explorer.
So,
So it
like,
is Dora the Explorer. I wasn't wrong.
Crushing these Rebus puzzles doesn't exactly make me feel like accomplished because it's like for literal children.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, on that note, we shall end this week's Survivor coverage.